Hi, and welcome to Soul Infused Monday. Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. And I know it always takes a moment for people to be able to join. So I'm going to wait just a moment so that I can see that people are popping in. If you are already watching me live, leave a comment below so that I know you hear and see me. If you are watching the replay, welcome as well. And as well, leave a comment below so that I know that you're here. And if you have any questions, obviously also while you have on the replay, leave a comment below. I always get back to it. So happy Monday, Soul Infused Monday. Today it's all about how to deal with challenging emotions, situations, and I'm going to talk about a few things, and some of the things that I'm going to share are really things that most people actually never really learn. And I'm also going to share a little bit about things that I see happening in my industry that I think are actually not necessarily always helpful, that are actually creating suffering versus releasing or helping you to release suffering. And yeah, say hello, who's here? Emily, hi, I'm so happy that you're live with me today. Natalie is here as well, Heather is here, Tina is here, hello. Yeah, if you are watching live, leave a comment below right now so that I know that you're here. And also, if you have been following me, if you're watching the shows and they're valuable to you, they're inspiring for you, they are, helpful, tag a friend, share it with someone, invite another woman or man to join the conversation, to tap into the community so that we can all make a bigger difference together. And if you are new to my show, my name is Sonia Bueno de la Torre, and I am mostly passionate to help you shift your energy and to set your soul free so that you can create the life, the love, the joy, and the freedom that you truly desire. Okay, Emily's saying great topic. Yeah, I told you it's going to resonate with you. Hi from Chicago, Heather, fantastic. Okay, good. Some of the things that I share might not always resonate with everyone, and that's okay. It's sometimes even good to rock the boat a little bit or to be challenged. So if I say things or share things that you don't agree with, or that you judge, or that you have a reaction to, instead of closing up and resisting, use it as an opportunity to dig deeper, because there is a lot out there that I see in the field of energy, spiritual teachings, that what I mentioned before is not necessarily always helpful. And I'm going to dive into that a little deeper. And also that when you get triggered, or when you feel something as you're resisting it or you're judging it, it's always an opportunity to look deeper if that is something for you, because it has never to do with the other person. It's always the reaction that you have inside. And if any questions, hi Florian from Germany, if any questions come up throughout this Soul Infused Monday, leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer it either live here, or I'm gonna come back to you on the replay later on. Excuse me. Okay, let's jump in. How to deal with challenging emotions, situations is a very common topic for everyone, because one of the things that we can be sure of in our life is that we're gonna hit certain roadblocks, obstacles, challenges in our life as a human being, as long as we are living on this earth. Would you agree with that? And if you're not agreeing with that, is that you're either not living on this planet, or you've been not growing big enough to actually hit an obstacle. And here's one of the first things that I'm going to say that is a really important point. We grow through friction. We don't grow when we sit peacefully every day in our house or in the garden. Nothing is triggering us. Nothing is doing anything for us. We just sit there in our own bubble and we kind of feel peaceful, happy, and joyful, that we usually don't when we are in this bubble. But when we are on a path of growth, on a spiritual path, on an awakening path, whatever you want to call it, and I attract a lot of these people in my community and the clients that I work closely with, and those who get to work with me closely are usually already on the path, have done a lot of work already, or are very passionate about it or open about it, and they understand that it's a journey of awakening and growth. And I so often hear, oh, I've done so much work already. Why is this not working for you? This is so challenging. It's so hard. And I want to say one thing to all of you, and I've been one of them. I just want you to know that everything I say and share comes also from own experience. So there's no judgment from my side whatsoever. For anyone who still says the words, I've done so much work already, I've been on the path for so long, I've been doing so much work. As long as you say that, you're actually not really on the path. Because when you are really on the path, you understand and you embrace and you totally accept that it's a journey of a lifetime, and it's a process, and it's not one piece to go, and there is one issue that you have resolved and then it's done and you've never have to look at it again. When you are truly a committed seeker or someone on the path, and I'm just speaking to that because so many of you are that, and if you are one of those, let me know. Are you a seeker? Are you someone on the path? Are you committed to inner growth? Is personal development something that's important to you? Is inner work something that's important to you? Just let me know and say yes. And if no, it's fine, absolutely okay. Okay, fantastic. And so as long as you say that, you keep yourself from truly being on the path. Because as long as you say that, there is an element of I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I'm not good enough where I'm supposed to be. It should be different. And a part of you is still looking for that one thing that might change so that all your struggles are gone and this one miracle piece that you are still waiting for. And it creates a lot of suffering. So let that go. Allow yourself to embrace the journey, to embrace the process, knowing that no matter how long you are on the journey, that you keep walking, you keep growing, you keep expanding, and you keep facing obstacles. So one of the things that I do not like about my industry, and when I say my industry is about, I mean like energy healers, spiritual teachers that are out there. And one of the things that I don't agree with and that I don't appreciate and I don't want to be put in the same box with them is that illusion and that misconception of there's one thing and then you are awakened and then you are spiritual and then everything is good and then you don't have to deal with negativity or emotions, pain, and all of that. And that creates a lot of suffering because a lot of people come to me having been on the path for a long time and saying, oh my God, I've done so much work and still I'm struggling with that, or I feel stuck there. And excuse me. And what I see often is they have that misconception, that belief, that illusion that it should be different. And once you reach a certain level, you're not supposed to have to worry, or worry is the wrong word, but to face certain elements of life that are painful, that are challenging, okay? Does this make sense so far? Am I landing here for you? Is that a topic that interests you? And yeah, I have here my light workers, my seekers, my yes, yes, yes. I have totally bought into that. Yeah, Emily, I know, we all have. So I chose that really hit for so many, what you just said, Emily and Ramshir, so many buy into it. And I'm not saying that everything is bad out there. It's great, there's so much great stuff. I've been doing energy work and I've been on the spiritual path for over 20 years. And when I started, it wasn't so much out there, you know? If you were walking around and even if you saw like a poster on a shop that had a feng shui weekend or something, it was woohoo, oh my God, really weird. All of it was really weird when I got started. So in the meanwhile, that's changed. And that's great because it gives more exposure. People are more open and there's a lot of good information and education out there. However, the downside of it is that nowadays everyone talks about energy, talks about spirituality, talks about the soul, and some of them just had a weekend course and doing a Reiki thing or read a book, and unfortunately everybody's calling himself an energy worker, healer, expert, right? And I want you to pay real attention, because that can create a lot of suffering if you buy into everything. And one of the things that I really want to point out today, or help you with, because that creates ultimately freedom and joy and love for yourself when you are on the path, okay? And I'm sure, just want to see here real quick. Yes, this comes up, believe it, I am in this. Okay, great, yeah, and just checking the comments. And please if this resonates with you, okay, I'm doing this for you, obviously, this resonates with you, or if it's not, if you totally disagree, I want to hear from you. I totally want to hear from you. So if you have questions, if you agree or you disagree, leave a comment below, join the conversation, because this is really important stuff today. One of the things that people also really never learn is how to deal with challenging emotions and situations. And one of the main reasons is not one of them, there are many, and this is a topic that is so complex. And obviously, just by listening to me, it's not gonna shift it internally, but it will give you an awareness. You still get to do the work. And that's one of the things that I really emphasize over and over. And if you work with me or if you work with someone else, it doesn't even matter. However, on the path of real transformation, you just don't transform only by listening and by reading books. It's my opinion. It doesn't have to be your opinion, and I might change my opinion again at some point, because I evolve, obviously, and I keep growing. And yet still, if you want to have real transformation, if you want to become free from all the conditioning, the beliefs, and all of that stuff that's not you, and you really want to live a soul-infused, soul-connected life, you get to work with someone in order to get rid of those unconscious and strong beliefs that are in you. One of the things that I see over and over is the judgment around challenging situations and emotions. And I'm just gonna give a few examples here of so-called negative emotions. That's already the number one piece that you get to understand, is that there are no such things like negative and positive emotions. How you feel have a reaction or a response on your well-being, but there's not per se bad or good. And we use those words, and I use those words too. So I'm not judging that. I'm just giving you a perspective that we are using those words to categorize them into something that the mind can comprehend. From an energetical perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from a conscious perspective, whatever you want to call it, there's only an experience. And how it feels might be more on the positive side than on the negative side. However, feelings like sadness, anger, loneliness, pain are not negative. And I want to be really clear with that. They are not negative emotions. When you are able to face the real emotion and where it comes from, and to be with it, to embrace it, to accept it, to hold space for it, that's when you can create freedom and joy in your life. That doesn't mean in that moment that you don't feel sad. Of course, you feel very sad, or you feel extremely angry or lonely. But if you don't face that, if you don't have space for that, it will always kind of like stay stuck in your system, and it will have ripple effects on in all your life, in every area of your life, and it will create suffering. And I said that before, especially, I'm sure, on many occasions. Pain is inevitable as long as you're living it. It's part of our experience. There's nothing bad or wrong with it. However, suffering is something that is not necessary and that's optional. So if you avoid to face the deeper pain, that's when you create suffering, because it always stays stuck and it piles on, and you carry it with you all the time. And even though you might have a smile on the outside, it really affects you internally. But if you learn how to be and accept and embrace and surrender those feelings that we so not want to face, that's when we create freedom and joy. And it's one thing to understand it logically, mentally, and really being able to do it. Let me know if this is landing, if you have any questions, and if you would agree so far. Questions agreed. Once you have found your way, this opens up in a great way. Okay, good. Okay, let me know if you have any particular questions around that. And most people, and I'm saying this, that most people, and I'm still learning that, I've been on the path for a long time, and it's one of the things that over the years allowed me to really feel so much more comfortable within myself, to love myself in ways that I would have never been able if I would not have learned and keep actually practicing and learning to embrace the so-called negative, challenging emotions and situations. I give you a recent example. As I am committed to my inner work and my inner growth, that's my number one commitment. It's my number one commitment in this lifetime. And so when I face something or I am challenged with something and I have a hard time facing it, because you can be super consciously, totally be ready, willing and open to face and feel the pain. However, if your unconsciousness and the wounds from the past and your energy doesn't want to do it, you can do what it just doesn't, you don't go there. So I take sessions, or I work with people in my field that I know, and I hit a layer of really old sadness from a wound, from a very past happening, that there was still a layer for me to discover. And why I'm sharing this with you, to be with that deeper layer is painful. And in my experience, and in the experience when I work with my clients and I help them to touch that, and they can really release the tears, they allow themselves and they give themselves permission and they feel safe to let those tears, to let the pain coming out and hold the space for it. Of course, I hold the space for it and I help them through that. It's one of the most liberating feelings. It's one of the most liberating feelings. And if you've been on the path for a long time and you've gone through challenges like that, you know this is true. And if you remember a moment in your life where you faced something so challenging, so painful that you thought you would die, and then afterwards you felt like, oh my God, so liberating, so healing. Please let me know if you can relate to this. I'm sure you can, or some of you, because a lot of you that come to me are on this path. And I help people to go deeper to where they didn't hit yet. Okay, so I hope this is helpful to you. I'm going to be here another just few minutes. If you have a particular question, let me know. And if you don't have a question, that's fine. Here's what I encourage you to do this week, starting today on Monday. You can start at this moment, right away, this second, here with me. Take a nice deep breath. Take a nice deep breath and just tune in. Just tune in. What's a feeling that you're feeling that might be uncomfortable or might not be something you want to have, or you don't want to face it, or you want to resist it. Just tune in. And if you don't feel it right away, just guess. Just allow yourself that moment. Take a nice deep breath. And maybe for you it's anger. Maybe for you it's loneliness, betrayed, like whatever it is to you, sadness. Narrow it down to one of the core feelings. And now take a breath. And you simply tell yourself internally, it's totally okay that I feel this way. And you hold space for it. You don't try to change it. You don't try to fight it. You don't judge it. You be with it. And it will be uncomfortable. if it wouldn't be so hard. Here's one thing I want to say before I even go. Don't you think that it would be true that things happen either on one night, overnight, there's this one healing thing that's going to make all the difference for you right away? Don't you think the life of the world would look different? Don't you think things would shift more quickly? It's a process. A beautiful tree doesn't grow overnight either. It takes time. So as much as you can this week, breathe through your emotions. Whatever situation you're facing, take a breath, own your own feelings, accept them, breathe through them, hold space. And there's way, way more to say to this. And obviously I'm going to be here next Monday again. And if you want to learn more about your particular issue, or if you want to learn more about how you can actually work closely with me, send me a message. I'm not going to send you to any link or anything. If this resonates with you, if I resonate with you and the type of work I do, and you want to find out more about that could look like for you, simply send me a message. And I'm happy to have a quick conversation with you, a chat. That's totally unattached to anything that you're going to do. But it will be super helpful for you to find out what's going on in your life and what you get to do for the next step in your soul evolution and your growth and in your spiritual awakening. Thank you very much. There's no question. I wish you a fantastic rest of your Monday. And if you take nothing else out of this today, what you feel is not only okay, it's beautiful in that moment, even though it doesn't feel beautiful. It's your doorway to freedom if you use it. And there's no negativity or positivity, it's an experience. And when you allow yourself to go through that experience, and you hold the space for it and you learn that, you get to learn that. You won't learn that this is really one of the most important skills, and it takes time to really master it. But once you get that piece, that's how you ultimately really create freedom and joy in your life, because you will be able to deal with anything that comes your way, and you can trust your soul and life that will take care of you. Okay. Have a soul-infused, beautiful rest of your Monday. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. I know how much stuff is out there nowadays. Shows, podcasts, audios, trainings, and that you choose to spend the time with me. I feel honored. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you next Monday again for a new episode of Soul Infused Monday. Much love.